You are listening to Transreal News, the finest news, forecasts, and advisories for psychonauts traveling the astral plane and beyond. I'm your host, Toby Damned. And now, the news in brief. A number of Australian towns have been overrun by the massive symbiotic mutant plant that people are calling the Ossiflora hive mind. The ever-changing life form has begun wrapping itself around buildings and forming large spires of tangled plants, emitting hallucinogenic pollen across central Australia. People subjected to the pollen report hearing the singing voices of alien plant matter, but have been unable to articulate its motives or goals. However, extreme doses of the pollen have proven to be highly toxic, leaving people in a catatonic state. Substrate Industries has been ordered by the Australian government to aid in the cleanup of the leaked and now mutated plant strains. Substrate Industries is currently appealing the order, claiming that Vogonis carries the majority of the blame for the explosion that destroyed their laboratory. The Hive has launched a new entertainment network, Buzz, which features a variety of programs inspired by classic television from the 1950s through to the mid-1990s. Buzz has a strong focus on sitcoms, hospital dramas, soap operas, and talk shows. While there are certainly some controversial moments in the material, critics have complained that the work is unimaginative, derivative, and stuck in the past, in spite of including insectoid and extraplanar members of most show casts. We are sad to report that Archon 5779 was discovered dead behind a ruined hotel in Pacific Grove, California last night. Archon 5779 was a member of the authorities' military services who had recently deserted after what he has described as a disastrous and poorly led campaign in the lower plains. He was in fact the witness who had reached out to us a few weeks ago, and who we unsuccessfully attempted to interview earlier this week. While local authorities have no idea how to study Archon anatomy, crime scene evidence suggests foul play. And now Bob Harmon fills in once again for Walter Haversquirrel with your time-space forecast.
Well, howdy friends, it's your old pal Bob here. And I'm going to give you the good word about what's going on with time and space right now. The quantum rains over Europe are beginning to go into full temporal reversal. They'll float backwards across the Atlantic, where they're expected to disperse and coalesce several times before finally working out all that quantum fallout, at which point they'll become normal clouds and resume a natural course. Looks like rain for Southwest Europe. Indigo children have been giving their families the slip all over North America. They appear to be engaging in some kind of intuitive migration, bringing all kinds of distortions with them. When helping strange children, please check your reality meter to determine what kind of help you can best render. But also remember that a real man never leaves a child, no matter what level of their psychic ability, in distress. For your sake, however, I implore you, don't interrupt their migration to wherever it is they're going. We'll keep you posted. It would appear that Antarctica is having a lot of alternate reality surges, but none are expected to have much of an impact on the rest of the Southern Ocean, at least not for the foreseeable future. If you're one of the few brave scientists in Antarctica, be sure to have a reality readiness kit available and fully stocked. That's it, folks. Keep your iron handy. Bob out.
And now, a commercial message from our partners.
Times are hard all over the West Coast right now. If you aren't in one of the futuristic cities and can't eat Televistic slime, you may be hard-pressed to find an affordable meal. We want to help. At Donna's Long Pig, we serve only ethically sourced, cloned meat that was never from a real creature. It is safe, affordable, and guaranteed to be free of hormones, pesticides, and nanotechnology. Donna's Long Pig. Healthy eating at a healthy price.
Spokesman Razortooth the Unhinged for the Doomsayers Union recently released the following statement.
See, we got it right. You can have the stupid AI. This is going to be much worse indeed. These plants will be the doom of you all, just as we have foretold. except for a few brave and unfortunate souls. Contact your local doomsayers to see if you are one of them.
And now Klie Maxwell with the latest advisories for psychonautic travelers.
Hello, my loves. Klie Maxwell here. I'm afraid I'm down with a little alien venom exposure, my loves. That'll serve me right for not properly washing my coffee mug. Today I'll talk to you about things to do when you're trying to take it slow and lay low. If you're the jet-setting type, right now the French Riviera has adopted a fondness for Elder God sushi after the freelance police were kind enough to provide plenty of material during their recent escapades. Nothing says exotic like the taste of alien monster and high explosives. Meanwhile, if you're stuck at home like I have been, perhaps you might want to try out the Buzz Network for yourself. I've been a sneak preview subscriber for about a month, and I'm particularly fond of Pain in the Cloaca, Loves for Sting, All About My Grubs, and Felicitations. Or you might want to check out the latest trend in my favorite hobby of tabletop role-playing games, cozy RPGs. Settle in with some friends, close the blinds, turn down the volume on your Queel meter, and enjoy spending time solving life's simple problems in a world where neighbors don't spontaneously mutate and you don't have to shoo off prehistoric monsters caroling at your door. I know I'm wistfully entertained. But until next time, my loves, stay safe and be sure to wash your coffee mugs after they've been sitting near a battlefield. Back to you, Toby.
You have been listening to the Transreal News, part of the Transreality News Network, your finest source for advice for psychonauts, astral projectors, ethereal jaunters, and people on serious LSD trips. From all of us to all of you, safe journeys. So, how are you feeling, Klie?
I have been better. That'll teach me.
Why did you drink coffee from a dirty mug anyway?
Old army habit, I'm afraid.
I didn't know you were in the army.
Shh, we don't talk about the bad old days, remember? Long time ago. Let's just say that I got used to the taste of burnt coffee in a dirty mug. In the meantime, I also have gotten out of the habit to check to make sure that there's no blood, ichor, or venom splashed on it.
Klie, I need to talk to you about the possibility of taking a little trip.
I get the feeling I know where you're thinking of going, and it's a crazy idea, Toby.
Well, what else do I have to lose at this point? TRNN is basically cutting our funding down to nothing. They've even threatened to sue to force us to change our name so that their network won't be associated with us anymore. This requires what Torg would call a heroic feat of truth-telling.
Let's say I could help you carry out your crazy idea. Who'd run the show?
I'm still thinking about that, and I have a lot of arrangements to make. But can you do it?
Of course I can, darling. I'm always for heroic daring do. At least, I will be, once I've moved the rest of this venom.
Thanks, Klie. The Transreal News was created, directed, written, and performed by Brian C. Rideout, and produced by Stormhead Productions, and is released under a Creative Commons by Attribution, Non-Commercial 4.0 license. This episode of Transreal News included music and sound effects from Pixabay. For show notes or contact information, visit trans-real.stormheadproductions.ca or visit me on Twitter at transrealpod. I love hearing from my audience. If you have comments, questions, or an idea for a news article, please, by all means, drop me a voicemail. Check out my homepage and look for the heading Tell Me What You Think in the sidebar. Then just hit record to tell me what's on your mind. Thank you so much for listening.